Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing? This is Arsh, and welcome to another episode of Music Production Hacks with FuzzCulture. I'm happy you guys are here, and I'm gonna be doing this every week. So last week, what I'd done was I'd put an Instagram poll asking whether you guys would like to have a tutorial where I make wavetables and showcase wavetable synthesis from just like an audio form or on drum compression, and the answer was overwhelmingly in the favor of drum compression. So this video is about how to use compressors on your drums to make them sound fuller and punchier, and to shape their transients and to get somewhere close to the sound which you'd like. So what I've done is I've programmed a drum part, and we're gonna use this drum part and then use compressors to make it sound like this. And the compressors that we're using are Waves API 2500, which is a fantastic compressor. And for the master bus, we're gonna be using the SSL-G compressor. Before we start, what I want to say is that since we programmed the drums, there isn't a lot of bleed. They're very clean. It's a clean sounding kit because, well, it's been programmed 2020. We haven't played it. So what we're not using the compressors to kind of like even out the sound. What we're using the compressors is to shape the sound and to shape the transients and to shape the kit in a way that it sounds more like what you want it to be, right? So let's start with this, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. And as always, if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel because it helps me to keep feeling motivated so that I can keep making these videos all the time for you guys, right? And let's start. Hello, how are you guys doing? And today we're using API 2500. It's one of my favorite compressors. I've used the hardware as well, and it's an absolute beauty. And we're gonna use it on individual stems of our drum kit, and we're gonna shape our kit. So let's hear the drums we've programmed. I programmed these drums beforehand so that we're not gonna be using our compressor to kind of equalize things, but kind of to shape our transients and to shape our sound, right? And that's what we're gonna be using today. So let's hear this once. All right. Alright, so that's the drum kit I've got, and now I want to shape this into a much more punchy, full sounding drum kit using compression only. We're not gonna touch our levels, we're not gonna use anything, we're just gonna use the API 2500 compressor, and we are going to use the SSL-G compressor at the end to just like kind of glue it together. Alright, so let's start with the kick. The great thing about the API compressor is that it's got auto gain makeup, so we don't have to keep fiddling that. So let's start with the API 2500. Alright, so let's hear a kick. It's a nice sounding kick, but I want to give it a bit of that attack and yet have some of the low end come out of it. Alright, so let's see. Okay, so that's killing the low end a little bit. I want the attack to be slow so the transient sort of passes through and then we kind of capture it, right? Let the release. Play with the release. Let's hear the actual kick now. So you can see it's really gotten the transient out, and I've used a bit of a hard compression. I've used a slow attack. My release is set right in the center. Maybe we can just tweak it a little bit, but maybe with the final mix we'll know a little better. Let me just try reducing my threshold a little bit. I kind of really like that. Yeah, so you already tightened up. Let's see in the final if you want to play with the release a little bit. I like where the attack is sitting. I like where the threshold and the ratio are doing. Now let's go with the snare. It's a nice snare, but you can see the transient really popping out and then dying. I wanted to have a little more body. And let's use the compressor to play with this, alright? Let's give it around 6 just to 1 compression. Nice. Lovely. Now let's see where we want the attack to be. See, now that completely kills the transient. We don't want that. We want the transient to come through. We want the hit to kind of like smack right through it. Let's make it a little slow. Let's use a hard ratio for this. And let's use the loud tone in this. Because API gives us loud tone, we use loud tone. Why not? Let's just use a longer release and see. You can see it's added so much punch to it if you can hear it. Let's take the compressor off. It's also added it's got a little bit of a harmonic flavor which it adds to it as well, which I really like. The release is something, it's kind of like really tricky and you have to kind of take every snare and every hit into account to see what you want to do with it. But let's kind of go on. Let's hear the hats. Again, you can see the transients are hitting through, but we don't have a lot of body in the hats and you want to generate that body. You want to shape this transient to our liking. So again, you put on the API. Let's hear. It's not even registering, it's so low. Yeah. Wow. That requires a very deep threshold. I don't want to compress this too much. So you can see the entire character of the entire tail end of your transient is coming out and we have a much fuller sounding hi-hat. So now if you hear the kick, the snare and the hats together, already way tighter. Let's hear it once again. So you can make out how it's already like all the elements are coming to life by just using the right amount of compression. So now let's go to the toms. And I want to compress them a little bit, you know. This is tom 1. That's tom 1. So again, let's apply a compressor. It's not even registering it, so no, too much. Let's get it to around -6 dB. Nice. Let's go a little hard with this. Now, do we really want to squash? I want the transient to cut through, but like I want to kill the back end a little bit. I'm actually quite good with I'm squashing it too much. Let me just use a 6:1. So I want to squash the end tail of it, so I'm going to give it a late release. Transients cutting through, we're getting the hit of the tom, but we just letting the release we're letting the compressor go on for a while, so it's just kind of curtailing the sustain of it a little bit. Let's go to tom 2. This anyway doesn't have that much of a sustain, but still let's compress it a little bit and see what happens. So first let's get a register. I'm good with that much compression. Let's I definitely want the it's too hard. Let's just I'm actually liking the 4:1 compression here. That's kind of gotten the tail in control a little bit, right? Let's hear both of them without the compressor ones. Let's take the compressors off. No definition. Much more defined. Nice. So now I've gotten 3 bus layers here, which I'm gonna compress and do different things to. Let's hear this. It's kind of like a snare and kick bottom end thing, so I kind of wanted to open it out and give it a little bit more space, make the drum sound a little bigger. So let's see what works with this. Nice. Let's that's pretty hard. Let me just open the release up a little bit. Yeah, so the compressor sort of acting on the sustain a little bit and keeping it going, so I kind of like that. Let's see. I'm in favor of that, so let's just hear it without it. Dead. Alive. Alright, so I like that. Let's go to the overheads. That's overhead 1. So again, let's apply this. Again, I'd want the sustain to act out a little bit. I'd want the transients to be heard, but to also make the room seem bigger, and that's the main idea behind this. So it needs a lot of compression for it to sort of bring up my... I have to pull up the threshold quite a bit in this. Let's compress it a little hard. Let me give it that pumpy feeling which I'm not sure I want. Let's see. I like the way that's acting a little slowly, but kind of like bringing out the bottom end of it, right? That's making it really tight. Now let's take the last overhead and see what we're gonna do with that. Nice. With this, I just wanted to give it more body, give it a little bit more sustain, and just kind of a little bit let the transients cut through a little bit, so we get like a really nice, snappy kit overall. Nice. Let's give it a hard ratio. That's extreme compression, so 6:1. Nice. Maybe a little lesser. Let's reduce the threshold a little bit. Let's try a different tone. I like how that's sounding, the medium. The release is the game in the entire thing, you know. The release is how your entire room is gonna expand or contract. Even with attack, like attack and release are what's shaping everything. I like that pumping effect a little bit. So the whole thing is kind of like pumping up a little bit. Now let's hear all of them with, let's hear the sound we've gotten, all right? Sounds massive. Let's hear the whole thing once. Very nice. Now all I want to do is add a bit of the SSL compressor to give it a bit of glue and kind of like just hold the kit together. So let's just, so it's all going to aux 1. So let's go to aux 1 once and let's put our SSL compressor. Nice. I love the Waves version of this. It's pretty standard and it's like a really good one as well. So I just want around 2:1 compression, just a minor amount, right? And let's see what the gain is before it comes in. Yeah, so you want to stay around that 3.2, 2.5. Slow attack. Let the release be at auto, 4:1 ratio. Yeah, and that sounds fat. Let's hear the whole kit once without the compressors, and then let's hear it with the compressors. And so you can see how we've shaped and designed our sound to what we wanted it. We've made the sound punchier, it has more room, it has more depth, and you can use these concepts with any compressors. If you guys want me to do any shootouts of other compressors, let me know. But let's hear it once without, alright? So this is without compressors. Now let's you can immediately hear the definition and the entire game is changing, man. So let's kind of like do a couple of shootouts and where we turn on and turn off compressors side by side, alright? So with compressor and without, let's go. So it's a day and night difference, and these are anyway leveled programmed drums where I've just put them down on a drum kit. And what the compressor does is it adds that level of depth and punch we're looking in our mixes, and this is with no EQs, no level changes, just compression to shape your transients, right? And you can use this and apply it across a various board of compressors. Obviously every compressor has its own type of distinct characteristic which it implies, and if you guys want to do AB something else, let me know. All right, I'd be more than happy to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys have any suggestions, please leave a comment. If you guys want me to do something or showcase something that you would be interested in seeing, let me know, and I might just take it on and I might just kind of attack it. And I don't know if I know anything about it or not, but I'd love to do it. So leave me your suggestions on what you'd like to see in this channel a little more. What production hacks would you like a little bit more insight into, or maybe we can share some insights. For compressors and for EQs, if you guys have any particular plugins you want me to kind of AB with other plugins over here, let me know in the comments. I'm open to suggestions and I'm open to this forum becoming a little wider. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. I hope your life is going really well. I know 2020 is damn tough, but I hope you're making it through, your family is safe, and all of you are doing really well. And let's meet again soon next Tuesday. And like always, please leave a comment, please subscribe, please click on the notification bell so every time we come out with a new video you see it. And join me on my Instagram page where I'm very active and we can kind of have an interaction and talk with each other. Thank you so much. And if you guys haven't heard FuzzCulture music yet, please do. I'll be leaving links. The links are below to where you can hear the music. Let me know what you think. And if you guys are enjoying the music, we're putting out a new EP in a couple of months. And hopefully life will be a lot better by then. Take care of your family, take care of your friends. I hope all of us make it through 2020. And let's kill it. Thank you so much and see you soon next week.